They'll be calling you a radical, and this will be one of these videos that I use really nicey language because I want kids to be able to watch this one too. So Steinbeck on Balco, I'm going to talk about Steinbeck and Ricketts together. Those two brilliant geniuses. I'm going to talk about the tide pools of California. I'm going to talk about the ecology of California, the sea, the apathy, the denial that's going on. Like I said, I'm going back to my headband. When I got cancer in the fall of 2011, I remember I told everybody if I ever come out of this place, because I've been fighting so hard for the sea and so hard for the mighty blue lady in the Pacific and the ecology my whole life. And, you know, I was all about the ecology, and then it turned into my biology, you know, literally. And you guys just took it and ran with your pseudo de facto theology. So, you know, there's so much of my work that was been done, especially last year as I walked the entire coast. You know, the guy at Old Town's my grandfather. You know, I traced the trail. The first time I ever saw a tide pool when I was a child, I was so little, you know, so young. I mean, my bloodlines go to San Diego clear to 1847. I can't remember if it was at Sunset Cliff, at Ocean Beach, but I remember, and it's vivid in my mind. I mean, it's just, I remember the first time I saw a whale, whole head come up. I mean, these are my first memories as a child. You know, the smell of the sea while my radiated nuclear father at San Onofre, at Ricketts, freaking, you'll get this nowhere. This is, look, I'm a writer. I mean, one day people are going to wake up and say, who is Kevin Blanch? What is the artist thing? I'm the artist. I've always been the writer since I was a kid. I mean, I used to win all the awards every time for writing. But I understand the evolution of literature. I've understood this is literature. This is what the art of communications, Holy Moses, is. This is it. This powerful, incredible. Can you imagine Michelangelo? Can you imagine Steinbeck with a YouTube camera? You know, so you'll get this nowhere. No one can connect this. When they did there, the Sea of Cortez, the long version, Ricketts and Steinbeck, which I consider that synergistic effect between two artists, I consider it the greatest in human history. Because art is the ecology, it is the form of community. Michelangelo, you know, Holy Moses, as I went to Vienna to see Holy Moses, and I got to run into Frida Meisenblower, 88, just like, hey, she passed her light into me. So, they launched that on March 11th. That's what great art does, it visually sees. To our beautiful, great, you know my improv and I go, biology, ecology, your pseudo de facto theology, Stairway to Heaven, Kevin, 9/11. I do everything 100% improv. 100% improv, everything. The greatest improv artist in my life that could go whatever, that I ever saw on television, whatever, Muhammad Ali, no doubt. No doubt. He was a brilliant. His wit could go. Those improv that he used to do with Howard Cosell, it was incredible. So Howard was, I mean, those two together, wow, what art. Muhammad, you say you're going to fight Will Chamberlain now. Will Chamberlain could be the most incredible athlete in the world. I mean, that guy's a 7-footer. He's got to reach out like that. He's going to fight you. This guy's an incredible athlete. You seen him play volleyball, Muhammad? Yeah. All right, Howard, let me tell you something, Howard. I'm going to fight him. I'll fight him. I'll fight anybody in the world. I'll fight him. And when I fight him, this is what you're going to hear, Howard. Okay, what are you going to hear, Muhammad? You just sit there. What are you going to hear? Come on. Muhammad, you know, what's your answer? Muhammad, you say you vote. Come on, you're living the whole world hanging. You're just standing there. Timber. He was beyond genius. I mean, he had a wit and a mind like a... I used to think I was the greatest in the world. I used to think I was number one. I used to think of number one. God showed me that I was not number one. I mean, I consider him the greatest improv artist in human history. His improv in the ring, rope-a-dope, oh my God. I mean, his wit, I mean, you think about his stand, politically, socially, philosophically, honestly, religiously, he was incredible, you know, he really was. To watch him in the ring, and where do you know, he admitted, he says, I learned those for the guys that come in front of me, the great arsonist, the sweet science, the sweet science. Look what we are now, the sweet science. Now it's the, so rickets. So on my walk, I gotta tell you guys this, because I could write a whole book about the walk. You know, I catch a little video here, you know, between Pismo and Monterey, Cannery Row, you gotta know by now what a Steinbeck fan I am. So the new sculpture, the new statue is there. Gotta go see it. There's a seagull shitting right on freaking John's head right as I was there. I just loved it. I gotta tell you how emotionally turned on I become. My father, human lab rat, nuked at the Nevada test site. I was so autistic. You know, I don't even know what you call it, autistic. I mean, my former community, my grandparents, we drive to the place, the beach house at PB, you know, or we drive to San Francisco to see their friend, Scowcroft, to see their beautiful, loving friend who knew all this community. Well, Stegner, you know, my beautiful little twin sister, he's having another fit, he's having another seizure in the car, Grandma. I had a lot of those. My twin sister learned, nope, I'll tickle his hand, Grandma. I got him calm. I couldn't communicate. You know, it was the ecology that saved me. You know, so emotional for you children and you kids, you know, as we get to see the sea. Now, Grandma, he could smell it. He can smell it. He can smell the ocean. The tide pools. So the mutation, people want to write these marine bio. I got to tell you, I am so emotionally heartbroken by the marine biologists, the so-called scientists. I always thought my whole journey as the artist, Kevin Blanch, my cancer, my incredible epic story, my path, my journey, my mind, my knowledge. I always thought I'd get my Ed. I always thought he would come along. We'll do this in California. We'll do this together. You know, the marine biologists, they started that journey on March 11th. You cannot make that. Frieda Meisenblatt, born on March 11th, my place and time. That's the way the synergies of the world works. That's the way the sea works as we come from the sea. That masterpiece, the long version. Steinbeck, that genius, as I stood, flipped the can behind. That's a bean can that I got in the grocery store at Safeway right at there at Monterey. My walk right up there. Bree and Bree dropped me off. I slept in Carmel. I know those tide pools. I know that ocean. As we sat right there, the baby leopard seal at Point Reyes, freaking, you know, we saw a pod of humpbacks that day. They're there right now. You know, we've lost it. It mutates. So the giant purple starfish, the giant reds, the barnacles that grow up this big, the clams this big, they're gone. They're gone. So they say, oh, they're making a comeback in Oregon. No, they're not. Because the big one, because that's how it works. It's a mutation. It's a genetic mutation. Fukushima pouring into the Pacific Ocean for 1912 days. 1912 today. The Titanic, 1912. Guggenheim, at least his daughter broke ranks. We got nobody that will break ranks. We have no Patty Hearst. We have no Peggy Guggenheim. We have no Mary Lou Whitney. Well, excuse me, Mary Lou Whitney. That's still my favorite museum in New York, the Whitney. You know, we don't have them. Everybody's drank it. We have no marine biologists. So I make it to Cannery Row finally. I was so excited. Slept there, you know, I've been walking through that incredible ecology. There's nothing, I mean, wow, I could write a whole book just on Gorda. I could write a whole book just on Carmel. I could write a whole freaking book just on Pismo. The clams are gone. The dead birds playing volleyball at Pismo. You know, San Luis Obispo, Diablo right there. I could freaking document. I could tell you every square inch. I could tell you what each beach smells like. I could tell you the taste on my tongue. I could tell you where it goes into my freaking... I put this on if I come out because the chemo burned through the top of my head. This is... Okay, I'm supposedly better, okay? Just one day working on my freaking swamp cure because my house got hot and I got to replace it because nothing's been done at my house for you. I've been fighting leukemia. That's just one day. I mean, I don't even want to take that off. I know I'm fucked for life. I understand. The leukemia did that from birth. San Onofre, let's form another commission. Sorry about the F word for kids. Our biology, our ecology. It's a mutation. They're not big and beautiful and purple and freaking. They're not. They're gone, you know. I grew up out by the lake on this incredible, I mean, whoa, tundras, jackrabbits, muskrats, beaver, freaking huge giant, the biggest mule deer in the world, the elk, and in San Diego. Watch them. Those tide pools, I still to this day, I mean, I become so emotional. You know, too emotional. You know, and if you can't see by this site and whatever, I am so heartbroken about the Pacific Ocean. But I'm even more heartbroken. Winston, 2 + 2, is the apathy, the non-response. You know, people don't care. You know, we're down there, they issue a level 5 warning in San Diego, urban runoff. It's incredible. Do not swim in it. They're blaring it everywhere. Television, radio, freaking on the beach. People still swimming. We're saying, hey, they don't care. We paid our money. We're going to Disneyland. There's no ecology. There's no respect for the ecology. There's no respect for our own personal biology, our children's biology, the future, whatever. That book's a masterpiece. That work, the work that they did on the Sea of Cortez. You know, he talks about the tide pools and everything. I mean, the abalone's been gone for years. They plowed up the freaking plant. The pismo been gone for years, but those barnacles were not gone pre-Fukushima. To pour that waste, this nuclear fission, and anybody who says, oh, the worst, thinks it's Chernobyl. 580,000 men entombed Chernobyl. You know, it was catastrophic and horrific. Fukushima is billions of times. Where is your logic? Why can you go along? How can you marine biologists just stand down, everybody? Where is the intimate? I never found my Ed. I found 2 beautiful old. I walked into Cannery Row. I was tired. I was beat down. My foot was sore. I've been clipping off 10, 15 miles a day with my backpack. I'm full of leukemia. I get there and there's 2 old marine biologists waiting for me. Kevin, you know, I'm standing by the table. We want to talk to you. We've been waiting for you. This is at Cannery Row, which they've ruined Cannery Row. I just walked away from the statue. Became very emotional when I saw the statue, by the way. Very emotional. There's Ed. John. It's a grand place that's been ruined. I mean, it's all gone, but the grays are giving birth here at Carmel. I'm like, oh no, really? I didn't see them at Gorda like they come. Really? Oh my God, they're starving. They don't have the energy. The humpbacks never made it. So, oh, it's just wasting disease. It's just El Nino. It's just the plume. The salmon have collapsed 90%. Everything's collapsed. Everything. Cancer rates are. It's the most epic apathetic denial in California history, and we're California dreaming. That's saying a lot. Cut down the sequoias. Cut down the kill the cougars, the golden bears, the freaking all of it gone. The Great Marsh. As I float up the Sea of Cortez, we can go clear back to Quixote. We can go back to his freaking righties all the way. We can go clear back to False Bay at freaking San Diego. Gone. Mission. Tear down the freaking little park. So I'll be back down there. My place and time. You know, as a marine out there, I spent a lot of time in Watsonville and Castroville. The, you know, illegal freaking exploitation. I actually picked with the pickers one day out there as I was walking Moss Landing on Balco. Where's the coots? Where's the muskrats? Gone. We don't care. We can't see. Slow freaking evolution of the death of our ecology, our biology. For you not to see Kevin by the sea. I see. I am very emotional. Too emotional. Way too emotional. I know that. I always have been. You know, that's part of the disease from San Onofre. My place, as I told Lori and Pete, we were there. I said, just leave me here. Just leave me here. I became very emotional that day. Very emotional. You know, sitting on that beach on the 5th anniversary of Fukushima at San Onofre, the death of my father. You know, they actually, my uncle told me the other day, top surveillance clearance in the Air Force, he says, on the San Onofre Marines, when they first blew your dad, not 1 but 2 times, watched him suffer for decades, he says they physically had cages. They had cages out there. They put the dying Marines in cages like animals. No man left behind, so they wouldn't put in the big signs. Loose lips sink ships. Don't talk. I mean, that's our California dreaming, not mine. So I'll be back. I'll be back. I've traced the old Mormon trail, you know. I know that freaking coast, and I know that ecology like no other, and those tide pools are different. They're beyond different. Dead, yeah. Life is starting to mutate. These little goofy looking things. Starfish. I don't even like, they look like starfish. It's just like the waste being dumped in Mexico. Put the little fish, you know, the cruise lines dump their human waste in there. We know there's even Viagra in the freaking, do you have erectile dysfunction? That's what our children have to be exposed to on TV. I mean, well, they don't have a chance. You know, they don't get to see the whales. They don't get to see the spotted. I remember the first time I saw a freaking little spotted freaking seal. Oh my God, I wanted to pick him up and hug him and kiss him. You know, and I'm like, the sea. I cannot tell you the apathy, how heartbreaking I am. And so I'm going to start to focus. I can't find my Ed. There is no Ed. There is no Ed. You know, Steinbeck lives inside of me. You know, at the old Del Monte. It's Donna, the three Donnas. I love Donna Gilmore and Donna Young. I'll be there in San Diego fighting for you and me, for our ecology, for our biology, as you just turn it into your pseudo-facto theology. Our mother, the sea. The wells dry from dead. This is the greatest ecological collapse in human history. I'll be there by the sea. You know, Steinbeck, the Grapes of Wrath on Balco, the Sea of Cortez, that great work. They started that journey on March 11th. You cannot make it up. Masterpiece, the long version. This is literature. That's what it's been. The art of communication, and I'll never find my Ed. I can understand that now. You know, so I'll do it on my own. Record for history, for my own grandchildren, my own great-great-grandchildren, the unborn, for their ecology, for their biology, so they can see that everybody was not apathetic, that there was actually somebody who fought for the sea, who defended in this acute Fukushima, pouring in for freaking 1912 days, the Titanic. How is that even possible that anybody in their right mind, the definition of insanity is the looking over your biology or your ecology and just going to your fake made-up theology. That is the definition of insanity. Fukushima pouring into the sea for 1912 days. Major meltdowns. The cores blew up. The pools blew up immediately. Look, you don't have to cause earthquakes. Earthquakes happen. Tsunamis happen in our little, short, arrogant lifespans. In the annals of history, geology, the San Onofre bomb will happen. It'll be called an earthquake. It'll be called a tsunami at Diablo. It'll happen by the sea, at the sea. It will happen on the sea. It's going to happen. It's only a time, because we don't have to cause earthquakes. It doesn't have to be this, that. They're going to happen. Let's build these things. To think that that is not poisoning and killing the freaking sea, our ecology, all over the cancer epidemic, whatever. We have bypass surgery. We have organ transplants. We have all these incredible marvels of modern medicine. We have all these credible to save Kevin. He should have never lived, as they bone marrow biopsy me. I want to lastly talk about our friend Prince. He was down to 112 pounds. When I got sick, he was shriveling away. You could always, same thing with me. I was shriveling away. Went in multiple doctors, multiple malpractice, sent me home just like him. Look, they had me loaded up on morphine. I was in so much epic pain, they had me loaded. I was just going away just like him. Just like him. Couldn't eat, couldn't think. Finally, some beautiful doctor CAT scanned me after the 15th time in there. I know a girl who went in there to the emergency room 16 times. It was leukemia. They arrested her for doctor shopping. It ended up being leukemia. She's passed. And so our group was all passed. I'm the only one left. I'm the only one left that went into that bone in the fall of 2011, March 11th. They started that journey at the Sea of Cortez. You know, someday you will see Kevin's work by the sea, Kevin's work for the ecology, just like Prince. They had me loaded up. We don't want to talk about the root. We want to talk about the cure. Forget the cause. Huntsman, the luxury good of death. Huntsman Chemical, Huntsman Chemical. Come to Scripps, the luxury of good of death. 19, Tony Glenn. I'm better. No, you're not. We're all going to go sooner or later, but, you know, Steinbeck, like I said, if you don't know now, all these artists that come in front of me, how much respect I have for them. Holy Moses. I got to be at Freedom Eisenblar's house. She had cancer. She didn't tell anybody. She was waiting for me. And she put her light in me. She said, Kevin, I know your work. I followed your journey. The greatest anti-nuclear activist that ever lived. Mikhail Gorbachev is still alive. Probably could have been, probably Freedom Eisenblar. Talked to a woman from Austria up here the other day. I says, you know where I gotta be? And she says, where? I was in, she see the hat, and we started talking. I says, you know, I was at Freedom Eisenblatter's house. And she, 4 hours, ran and put her light in me. She's, oh, are you kidding? I said, no, she says, oh, she's my idol in life. I says, yeah. Stand tuned. I'm so heartbroken about the sea. Will she come back? I think you're no match. I hope. I don't know. But I do know what a tide pool looks like, and I do know what a pot of whales looks like, and I do know that a sea lion and a seal are just like you and me, our ecology, and I do know that the San Francisco Rescue Mission, because I was there, 33% of the test of the blood of the mammals who are just like us, our Hogle Zoo 2012, our sea lion right here died of AML leukemia. 33% of the ones tested, they know just in the 1 year, the thousands of them. I'm the first one to report all this as I was by the sea watching out for your ecology, had leukemia. I think that's probably, I would bet almost anything that Prince had cancer. We're, you know, self-medicating, of course. You know how painful it is? Couldn't eat, freaking thing. I mean, I look back on it. I mean, even I go through this, it's 1,000 million times better than what I was. I mean, the pain, and, you know, they had a scale at the LDS, it goes 1 to 10. Which thing? And then they go over top 10, they says, cancer pain, AML leukemia pain, whole new worlds. Oh boy, here, how much morphine you want? Which wouldn't he touch me? Just like Prince. You know, thank you, Muhammad Ali. His improv, his incredible wit, his stand. He was a peace activist. He was another peace activist. Stand tuned.